with. So I'm just typing in here, I'm pinning interview with. So today I am interviewing someone that I just like immediately felt a connection with. And Miss Dessens. There you go. That's her. Dessens. Just trying to make sure that I have her stuff spelled correctly. MSDESSENC. Yeah, there we go. Bam. So now I am going to pin it. So yeah, so this particular person, she goes by Miss Dessens 1 on Instagram. I met through Instagram, actually. I met her through Instagram, and you know, we did like an interview, but it was due to the Mott Film Festival, I believe. But it was some months ago. Anywho, the fact of the matter is that here we are, fast forward to March, and I was, you know, going through my list of all these powerful women that I knew, maybe not personally, but she was definitely one of those people, and I was just like, I need to have her on for this segment. So without much further ado, I'm going to invite her in, and yeah, we'll see. There we go. Bam. Going to and she's gonna be, you know, the star for the hour. Quick check. Can you guys hear me? Just a simple one of these, or yes? There she is.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, baby. How are you?
I am doing fantabulous. How are you?
I'm great. I'm just getting to Connecticut, so I'm taking out some time to talk.
Oh snap! I'm important. Oh man, I love it.
I just want to thank you so much for reaching out to me and putting me part of this movement that you have. I'm honored, and I'm humbled by it. So thank you.
Oh no, thank you for saying yes. You know, it's like that was one of the fears that I had, that you know, like I was approaching people that had like a significant amount of followers, and you know, people that I obviously didn't know personally, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, well, the worst they can say is no, right? But
that's the worst they can say.
Yeah, exactly. But you said yes, and I'm like totally excited about it. So
I'm excited too.
Yeah, me too.
Hi everyone checking in. Yeah. I see a couple of friends here. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to the Power Hour Lunch Edition. And in this hour we have the one and only Dessens. And so let's just kick it off, right? So my name is Ninoska. I am the founder and executive director of the Mott Film Festival, but I'm also the owner of Ninoska, which is a communications, branding, and storytelling company. So that's where this is all coming from. So hello everyone. Wow, we have a lot of waves. Oh, can we get some hearts too? I like those.
Give me some love. Give us some love.
Give some love. Yeah. So that's who I am. So that says, for those that do not know who you are on this list, please tell us who you are.
Okay, well, I represent the Bronx. I represent Latinos and minorities, people of color. I am the producer and host of the Dessens Show, which right now is showing on BronxNet, but it's on Apple TV, Spotify, Amazon, and I'm being bridged into 9 Bridge, which is a new network that will be on live stream TV.
Nice, real nice.
So, you know, the show has been going on for 5 years. It started off as radio live streaming, and then it went into like my own show. So it's a one-woman show, an hour a week. And we interview, we have discussions, we have a great, amazing talk. Just last night, the show aired, and we had a sex talk, which was amazing. It drove a lot of traffic there. And yeah, I'm all about empowering. You know, we have a lot of things to speak about nowadays. So it's become more fun because we've been quarantining. So a lot of people are sitting still listening.
Yeah, listening.
And yeah, so this is the time to get out there and promote yourself. You're doing an amazing job with it. Thank you for putting me on this panel as a guest. You know, a lot of people seem to like be a little weary to reach out. Like, you know, no, I'm here to speak and to join you guys and collaborate. So thank you once again. And yes, we did have an interview of my Mott Festival, which is on my page as well. So you can check that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
That was some time ago. And and the Mott Film Festival has grown since then. So,
Yes.
but you were like one of the first people that really like helped us, get on the map. So I'm forever
Thank
grateful
you.
on that end. Yeah.
Absolutely. And hopefully once this COVID is over, we can collaborate in person,
Yes,
work
exactly.
together.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's coming to fruition, hopefully sooner than later. Definitely.
absolutely.
No, I mean, COVID has definitely rocked the entire world in a way that no one had ever imagined, right?
Hmm.
And then, things have just obviously been so different since then. And it's been a year. Today's been a year, right? Since it first hit the US,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's definitely been a very tough road for many of us. So
Yes, it has. Yes, it
yeah,
has.
exactly. So let's start off with what made you become a radio sensation, I would say, right? So what made you say, I'm gonna pursue radio?
Well, I'm the only child, and
Mm-hmm.
music and the radio and TV shows and video shows were my best friend. I grew up in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I was entertained by all that as an only child, and I found it fascinating how you can
Mm.
become friends with a celebrity. I found that like intriguing because I was
Oh
so into
wow.
it. My whole
Mm-hmm.
room was full of posters of every artist I fell in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And even till now, it was my therapeutic. It was my best friend. Again, I was the only child with two parents that are still married to this day, and that was my way to kind of just be myself. I was a very shy, timid individual,
Mm.
um, everything I'm doing now, I would have never thought of me doing as a child. Like what?
Really?
Yeah. So I became in love with the radio, and then I ended up being fascinated. I told my parents at the age of 12 that I wanted to do radio. And my parents were all for it. I went to college for it. The first day I went to college, I signed up for a radio show. I had a radio show in college for like
Oh
three
my God.
years, and I loved it. I learned all the old school, how to cue records, how to like just speak,
Right,
and
right.
it was always the essence, but for some reason the name just never was used, so I reached to where I am now. And then as I started doing radio and meeting people, I started liking TV.
Mm-hmm.
And now it has switched over. I actually find radio boring. I actually think it would hold me back and hide my personality. So God
Mm.
just knows where to place you. And I love what I do. It's like my child. It's my baby. I will fight
Mm-hmm.
for it. I will work hard for it. And I just want you guys to all enjoy the Essence show and let me
Right.
know how I can entertain y'all.
No, exactly. I do know that so like we share something in common, but yours is far more greater than mine.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, I did radio in college as well for like a really short period of time, probably like a semester, right, which was like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. Like I loved the whole thing, but I agree with you because on the radio you don't get to see the facial expressions of people, right? Or like
No.
the little like mannerisms, or like right now I'm talking with my hands, like you don't see that, right?
No.
So you just like have like that the microphone in front of you, and you're just like doing all this stuff, but like no one sees it. So
Right.
I understand why the transition into TV was something that was inedible for you. Like it was going to happen, I
Yeah,
totally
and
understand that.
of course, like the natural ability is there because the passion is there. But I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't trained. I never done this before. I never sat and did a 2 hour radio show with the camera on me, trying to fill in empty space, speaking alone to the
Mm-hmm.
audience. And it just came natural, and here I am, and I love it. I love it.
Oh,
And
that's beautiful.
sometimes people actually hit me up on my IG about my dancing because I sometimes just venture off into a dance thing. Nothing sexual, just having fun with it.
Right,
And
right. I've seen those.
people probably don't understand it or just enjoy it, but this is what I did when I was a child in my room. So when I'm doing a video, when I'm sharing that, that's just a part of me that I've been doing since a little girl, dancing and singing in the room. I was the only child. I
Right.
was bored, you know.
You,
But yeah, I'm looking to pitch the show. I'm speaking to higher up people at this point. Like, I love my journey, but I want my brand to be shown worldwide, definitely. So
oh
thank you, like
man.
individuals like you. For the ones that don't know me, it just opens up my audience and vice versa.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Like I can definitely picture you being, worldwide, like have a billboard,
Thank
like,
you.
you know, see my show, like watch my show.
Yes, get in line.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So now that you said that, I was gonna ask you about that. So where did this like get in line come? Like like how like what happened to you? Or like what was going on that you just was like, you know what, get in line, like let's go. Like how did this happen?
Well, when I first came onto the scene, I was like the new girl on the block. Meanwhile,
Of
I've
course.
done things in the past that just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't acknowledged. And, I dealt with it really started off really petty. It was kind of like telling people, get in back of the line. Oh, you think I'm pretty? Get in back of the line. Oh, you want to
Uh-huh.
hate? Get in back of the line. So I'm sitting there
Right.
with my director, who's Danny Silver, who was one of the owners of Nightline Radio, which is how I started. And one day we were just talking. He was like, yo, why don't you just say get in line? And I was like, okay. And I remember the day when I was like, how am I going to be consistent with this? How is this going to grab
Mm-hmm.
anybody? And it took the community as a whirlwind and has become a trademark, a
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, a model that people love. I mean, when people
Mm-hmm.
come and talk to me, they're like, get in line. The sass is there. I have kids telling me
Yeah.
that. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And I paid for it. So nobody better.
Don't try it. Get in line. Get in line.
And
Right.
get in line, get in line can sound bossy, a little sassy. And I'm not bossy. I am sassy. I am not going to lie. I'm Puerto Rican from the BX. You already know.
Yeah, exactly,
Um,
right.
but the get in line to me is like a lifestyle. Get in line with yourself. Get in line with God. Get in line with
Mm-hmm.
love. Just get in line. It's a lifestyle. So that's how that
Right.
became.
Oh my God. You know, the first time I heard, because I think you call it like Red Wednesdays too, right?
Yes,
And
I did the
then,
get in line
yeah,
Wednesdays that I rant off.
yeah.
Yes, that's become
And
a
I was
thing
just
too.
like, yeah, and I'm like, what is she doing? But I love it. Like, it was just like, and then you would just like go off. And I'm like, oh, she's saying stuff that like we all want to say, you know? So,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
I love that. I love that completely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, So I know that like Miss DS says on Instagram, right? It's like your personal page, but it's also your business page, right? So there's like a lot of personal stuff on there. And one of the things that you were sharing with us throughout the pandemic was like your journey into becoming more fit, and just like going out on bike rides and stuff. Like was that something that you were thinking? Like did you feel that it was like nerve-wracking to share such a story? Like how did you come to the conclusion of saying, you know what, I'm going to share this with the world?
Because everybody kept telling me share it with the world, and I'm still hearing it. Make a show out of it. But I'm not trying to be a fitness trainer. I'm just trying to motivate because I was
Mm-hmm.
motivated. This was a blessing from God. I've never worked out in my life. I never really had to, because my fatigue was always okay. I was
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with myself, and I had put on some weight, and I was right now doing screen. I was on TV, and I didn't look the way I wanted to look. I also wasn't
Mm-hmm.
feeling good every time I ate. I was feeling
Right.
bloated. I was feeling heavy. I was feeling moody and frustrated. And I was eating everything in sight, like overstuffing myself.
Right.
And I said, this got to change. And I was into soda. I was going to happy hours like every other day because I was working so hard. So that's the only time I
Mm-hmm.
had to like have social life. And
Mm-hmm.
it stayed with me for like 2 years. Like, oh, I got to do something. I never did. Quarantine
Mm-hmm.
hit, and I was put on a challenge through a friend to drink water for a weekend. I always drank water, but it was never like all day water. And I did the challenge for a weekend, and it's been a year since I've left soda, sugary drinks. I have nothing, just wine if I go out and water. That's it. No soda, no vitamin waters, nothing. And I saw my stomach go down, the little fupa that I formed, the little 10
Mm-hmm.
pounds extra. My back fat went away. My skin cleared up. My hair started to grow. My spirit was amazing. I was like high on life just because of the water. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
advocate for water, guys. Please drink your water. Please put lemon in it, fruit, whatever you want. Just drink water. You don't have to drink a gallon a day because sometimes it's hard to drink a gallon a day. It's not easy for people to
Mm-hmm.
drink
That's
water,
true.
especially if they don't like it. But at least
Mm-hmm.
get a 40 ounce of water a day. Start with a 40 ounce. That's one. Look, you see what I'm serious?
Yeah.
One of these and you're good. Start slowly. Then I started doing the vinegar shots.
Oh
And
yeah.
oh girl, that drastic change. I lost 40 pounds. 40 pounds. I went from 170 to 142 in a matter of months, and now I'm actually 130, and I'm actually trying to gain my weight back because I don't want to keep losing weight. I lost all my curves, I lost my booty, I lost my breasts, I lost everything. So
You're
I'm
like, wait,
trying now.
time out.
Yeah, I'm like, I worked so hard to get this weight on, but now it's like unhealthy, and I don't want to look at this at the age that I am and be on TV, it adds weight. And it's literally like a blessing from God. Then I started working out a couple of times a week, very light. Then it became heavy lifting. Then I started to see change. It's like once you see change in your life, it motivates you, and you have to also be around people that are inspired by you to keep going. I have an amazing group. My best friend is on the journey with me. I have Sue Fearless here that motivates me. I have Kevin Pryor that motivates me. So, now Met the Man is all on his fitness. There's people that you look at and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's been a good experience. The feedback has been outrageous. I've gotten more contact through female than male. I have to say that I have dealt with a lot of harassment. I've dealt with people telling me stop losing weight. You're losing too much, or I like meat on my bone, comparing me to food. So, you deal with that and just keep it moving and put people in their place. I'm gonna get in line. I'm not sleeping with you. You're not paying my bills. It don't matter how I look to you,
Right. Like, do I even know you? Like, right.
Right. So I wasn't really hesitant. I was just sharing my journey, and then I started posting pictures of how I looked, and that till this day is never about showing off or being sexual. It's just showing my progress. And I've been vulnerable with it, and I've been more humble and emotional and transparent with my viewers. And that took some time to answer your question. That took some time. So yeah, that's how that became about.
Because I know that there was a point in time when, not me necessarily, but like someone around me, that she was losing, she was losing weight, and then she lost like too much weight, and I was just like, girl, you need a burger, like stop, and she went from like a size 10, just to give like numbers out there. So she went from like a size 10 to a size 2.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it took time. It wasn't like, one day, but like it took time. And then she went to a size 2, and I was like, no, like you too skinny. Like it was way too skinny. And I was like, maybe it's just I'm not used to seeing you this thin, right? And then she was like going through that, like now she goes, man, I'm too skinny. Like I have to gain weight. And then she eventually became a size 6. And I was like, yeah, perfect. Like this is,
See, that's usually my size. I was always a size 6. I was always 134 pounds. I always had booty. Well, as I got older, because when I was young, I was very thin, and then I filled out. So I was comfortable with my weight. But when it's hitting 170, just because you got on a birth control a year ago and you can't get the weight off because you ended up eating, your hormones are acting crazy. That's the difference. I'm wearing a size 12 in Fashion Nova jeans when I was a size 6. Like that's not cool. Now I'm wearing a size 4. So even though people are complimenting me, it's still an adjustment. I want to let you guys know that is an adjustment. So be careful with your words of weight with people. If you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all, because I'm fit and I'm feeling great, but I'm still adjusting to my body. I'm still adjusting to how my body looks. It's changing, So just be nice to each other.
Right. No, that's totally true. Totally true. So if you were to, speak to Destiny when she was, 12, what would you say to her, now? Like, what would you say to her?
What would I say to her? You're going to do it. You're going to make it. It's going to be a long road, but you got this. Just keep going forward. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Some people say, other things, but you're like, no, I kind of always knew what I wanted to do, but I'm pretty sure at 12 years old, you were like, I need to do it like right now. And not realizing like the hard work that will get there.
Oh my God. I mean, even in my 20s, when I was working for Hot 97 and all, interning, I still didn't know what it was. And I actually took a break of 10 years. I got married, I moved out, I worked to get my money up. I did HR work in the hospital and all that. And now looking back at my 20s, I was like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't a businesswoman. I was excited. I probably would have got like advantage of. God knows what would have happened. You're just trying to be in the mix. You know, 20
That's
years old,
true.
20 in your 20s, you want to be everywhere. You want to be in the mix
Right.
of everything. You know,
Right.
you're the new girl on the block. You know, you don't want to have a reputation either, but you're around people that you grew up with. Like it's hard. So now
Mhm.
that it came back to me in 10 years, at first I was upset about that. Why 10 years later? Why now? Now I'm old. Like what's going to happen? My life is starting all over again. But this is the best time. God knows when it's time for you because I've been
Mhm.
consistent for the last 6 years. And I've done stuff that I never thought I was even capable of doing. And that's just because of growth, your love, your passion. And
Right.
that's how that
Right.
became. Yeah. That's how
That's
that became.
wonderful to
It's
hear.
still hard. It ain't easy out here. And the
No.
older you
No.
get, and then you're Latina too, like it's not easy. Trust when I say that.
When you were that young girl listening to the radio, who did you look up to?
An artist or like host?
Host or artist? Well, let's answer both.
I was into all music. I was all into all
Uh-huh.
music. So I was always a fan of any type of genre. I was listening to Andrew Martinez and Wendy Williams. And then
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
occasionally I was listening to Lenny Green, who I'm friends with now. I mean, I'm friends with these people, not Wendy Williams. I haven't gotten to her yet. But, you know, it's just amazing how you listen to people and they mold you and they motivate you and then you
Mhm.
work with them in the future. It's surreal. You know,
I I
surreal.
I understand because I grew up with, of course, with Angie as well, and Wendy
Hmm.
Williams. Like, man, I would like do everything I could just to listen to her between her like 2 to 6 when she was at
Yes.
105, 107.5, and she was
Yes.
like 2 to 6, and I would, oh my God, like I would like like I was when I was in college, I would schedule all my classes like around her radio show. Like I'm like still a big fan, you know. So I
Absolutely.
totally, yeah, so I totally understand. Like one day you'll get there, you know, one day you'll get to meet
Uh,
her, and I
I'm
hope that
not
it's
worried about it. I've
yeah,
met her before. She was okay. She's very reserved, you know,
no,
very,
yeah, you could
but
tell. You could
mhm.
tell. You could totally tell that she is. But I could see definitely like you having a show like hers, you know, like the Essence show.
Yeah, that's the
10
plan.
a.m. Yeah.
That's the plan. That is the main goal. And also I want to get into production and have a production company. If I have to be on panels in somebody else's show, that's fine. I don't expect to have my show right away. I have work to
Right.
do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but that is the main goal. And I appreciate everyone supporting that. And I just pray that that one person, it takes one person, guys, to
Right.
look at you that you don't
Mm-hmm.
even know that's looking at you. I just had someone reach out to me yesterday that manages Corey Feldman from back in the day. And he's like, I've been
Mm.
following you for a whole year and you're so solid. It's amazing that you're not picked up yet. I said, it's not time yet. You know, I think about that every day. Like, am I
Right.
going to get picked up at 50 years old? If it's 50 years old, the essence, it is what it is, you know? Like,
Right, exactly. No, as long as you're you know the goal that you want to reach and you're
mhm,
going to, towards it like a little bit every day, like that's what really counts, right? So,
absolutely.
right. So, and when it comes to talking to little girls, right? What would you
Mhm.
tell them? What advice would you give a you know a child that's, you know, looking up to you?
Oh my God. You just made me like really soft.
Oh.
It's okay because I was that little girl.
Right.
Um, to to do what you want to do, nothing's impossible. And no matter if your friends, your family are telling you no, if you feel it in your heart, do it anyway. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just do it. Don't be scared. Look at the people that you admire, study, go to class, go to college, get a degree, have a backup plan because sometimes you need to get in the real world, make that money to get to where you need to,
Right.
invest in yourself. You know, no one's going to believe what you believe. So it's your job
Mm-hmm.
to put it out there. Yeah, go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. And
That's
it's gonna
right.
be a lot of trials and tribulations. It's gonna be a lot of doubting. It's gonna be a lot of frustration. But it's like when you want a child, you go through all the pains, but it's still like a gift. That's how I feel with the
Mm-hmm.
career. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's an amazing analogy.
Yeah,
It
it
definitely
is.
is.
Hmm.
Do you think it's been harder for you to become where you like to be where you are because you're a woman, or do you think that you've been given like a fair shot, like a full-blown fair shot?
Um, it's hard being a woman in the industry, and I suppose when I get into like the real world of it, which is the plan eventually, it's gonna hit me a different way. But that's a good
Mm-hmm.
thing because I need that. But being a female, it's very male dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got your shit together and you're not bad looking and you're professional, but you're cool, you can get things done. You know,
Mhm.
people will respect you.
Mhm.
But it's not easy. Like I said, it's a male dominant world. You know, I
Right.
wanted to be on radio, and there's not even slots open for personalities anymore because they're putting DJs on those slots
Mhm.
instead, being
Yeah,
personalities, you know?
that's true.
So it's like the whole game is just changing. But I love being a woman. I love being who I am, but it's not easy.
Right.
Definitely
It's
not
true.
easy.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years is a long time. I look like towards next year, 2 years from now.
Okay, so let's
Five
bring it down.
years.
You want to bring it down to 3 years?
It's, you know, it's crazy to say where you see yourself because I thought that I would have been on TV like on my own show already from 5 years back, you know, and now
Mm,
we're here 5 years and I'm still not doing that, but I've done other things and my journey is amazing. Um, I let God work. I let
mm-hmm.
God work. Y'all already know the goal. That's the goal, no matter how long that
Right,
takes. But I just let God do his work. I don't really like to put a time on things. But I will be
gotcha.
alive and I still will be doing my thing. And
Right,
yeah, we'll see what happens. But you know, you also need the help of the community, the help of people sharing your videos, speaking out, engaging. And that's what I'm kind of on right now on my lives. And I know you see it. I'm telling people,
right, yeah,
engage, engage. If I ask you what's your get in line today, engage. It could be fun. And maybe
right,
you've
right,
experienced, and it doesn't always have to be bad. It doesn't have to be negative. My get in lines are not negative. There's just what's
yeah,
on our mind, you know?
right. No, that's very true. No, 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 it's
Yeah.
very true. It's very true. I had a question, but I
I'm
forgot it
sorry.
because because I didn't want to interrupt, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask her that, but it's okay. So there's people, logging on. So let me just
Hi, guys.
yeah, let me just take a little pause. So
Sure.
guys, I am interviewing the one and only Miss Dessence. That is her IG right there. So feel free to follow her. She is you see, oh, see, look, he's already.
I
Oh,
love
he's
it. You see?
perfect. He's already like get in line. Love it.
There's people that use, listen, girl, if
Yeah,
I can make money by all the people that use my tagline, I would be rich by now. Because there's
I
people that come
bet.
at me and be like, get in line, DS. And so I'm like, no, 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 no. Sometimes I do have to get in line. Trust I do.
No, but if you have any questions, guys, please feel free to put them in the comment section. However, I would prefer for you to put it in the question little circle thingy because then I would know for sure that it's a question. So you're from the Bronx, right?
Mhm.
So am I.
Whoop,
But
whoop, whoop.
yeah, exactly. Did you ever consider moving somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the Bronx. I love being from the Bronx. But I feel like my time in New York is done with. It's been done
Yeah.
with. And the only thing that actually is holding me back from going is this, because I've built so much in New York. And if you
Mhm.
can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, we're in the Mecca. But my spirit belongs somewhere very hot and sun and no winter. And eventually I do want to, if I was to get a call or a pitch or some type of show and they want to fly me out to LA or Florida or wherever, I'll go
Mhm.
because I don't have children. I can pick up and go.
Yeah.
Um, in the long run, I don't see myself being in New York living. But
Mhm.
right now it stands and I'm staying. But yeah, I definitely want to move around. A lot of people have told me maybe you need to move out of state to get a job. I don't know if I want to pick up and go to work
Yeah.
a regular job, a regular industry job. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
not
No,
sure
of
about
course.
that yet. Yeah.
You
So I'm
have
open
that
to it.
right. I mean, it's really difficult when you have an entrepreneur spirit to work at a company, and you've been on your own for a long time. I don't mean like living by yourself. I mean like,
Hmm. In the
like
career.
right, career-wise, you've been on your own for a long time. So for you to like go back to like a corporate position, that's just going to be
Mm,
weird. Unless it's like dealing with what you're doing right now. Like
thank you.
I would say hell no. Don't do
And
that.
I have said, hell no. I worked for corporate for 10 years. I had a great job and I just left it. I said, I'm taking a break and I never went back. And I
Right.
was unemployed for a whole year and a half. Sometimes this is a thing. You guys have to move on with life. If it's not suiting
Yeah.
you anymore, do not let anything hold back. Actually, when you become unemployed, you actually get better benefits than working. Medicaid takes care of everything. You could go to the bank and set up your IRAs and your savings and your retire. Like there's resources out there for us. We have the SNAP benefits that you can get your food. And I know sometimes there's
Mhm.
a stigma on it. Sometimes it's embarrassing. I didn't come from that life. Thank God I didn't
Mhm.
come from that life. But I put in my work since I was 13 years old. So now that I need
Right.
help from the government, you know what I mean? So you have to
Yeah.
take a leap of faith. Like my best friend said, you have to take a leap of faith because you cannot be comfortable in life and complacent. It's not going to work. You're
Right.
going to be miserable.
No, that's very true. It's
Yeah.
1,000% true. So when you were at your corporate job, right?
Hmm.
What was the stick that broke the camel's back that you said, you know what? Goodbye. I'm done. Like, did you even give a 2 weeks notice?
No, no,
No.
I didn't. Nope. I
No.
didn't. And everybody can do how they want to do. And Sue Fearless is up here. Me and her had this conversation because she followed my Sue afterwards and her door has opened up. And now she's an entrepreneur with her own business, Fearless Woman. She's speaking on
Mhm.
panels, working at doing mercy events and all that. So things
Mhm.
open up the door when you're not scared. It's a scary thing. I've never been unemployed. Oh my God. I had family and I had savings. My savings went down. I was pissed off. Then when I did get my jobs, the next year, because you do have to go back to work. I started working for
Mhm.
the city doing their events, and I started working for MSG. So I ended up getting
Mhm.
2 part-times that kind of brought me into the environment of radio and television and speaking
Mhm.
publicly. And that worked for a little bit, but I was working every single day and my money was
Yeah.
not right. So I
Yeah.
was very frustrated that my money was not adding up to all the freaking work I was putting in.
Of course.
Um, but with the corporate, I was getting anxiety attacks. I was
Mm.
not wanting to do my work, but I wanted to do my de-essence work.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and because I've had this passion since 13, every job kind of has just been a transition for me,
Mhm.
a year or two, because I know in my heart, this is not really what I want to do.
Right.
So,
Right.
sometimes you got to drop what you have and go for what you want and leap of
Right.
faith.
No,
Hmm.
definitely, definitely. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments or put it in the question box. That would be amazing. We're here for the next 20-ish minutes to answer your questions. So,
I love the
okay, so
comments though, by the way. They're very
yeah,
positive.
they
Thank you
totally
guys.
are. No, they totally are. This is great. This is freaking amazing. They so here you are working your two part-time jobs. Were you tired as well? Were you just like, listen, I am just here, just here for now because I need to pay, my rent, and then that was it? Like how? Oh my God, there we go.
No
So how,
problem.
like how were you at that time? Like, were you just like focused? Like, I know this is what's happening right now, but eventually I'm going to be better. Like, how was that focus back then?
It's one of the hardest things to sit somewhere that you're not unhappy, man. Especially
Hmm.
when you suffer from anxiety. I
Yeah.
don't really express it too much. I don't really advocate for too much of anxiety because I don't want that to be like a thing with me, like de-essence
Hmm.
anxiety. No, because people really do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but it's horrible to sit somewhere and every day feel like you're in a jail, in a cubicle jail, when you have so much
Hmm.
to offer. It's a depressing thing. I was getting anxiety attacks at work. My attitude sucked.
Right.
They were actually telling me, maybe you need to go find something that you enjoy. And I said, I already know what it is, and I'm out of here because this ain't it.
Right. Like, bye. You don't even get 2 weeks. I'm just leaving. Goodbye.
That's it. And and I knew that the job was just too much stress for me. And I
Yeah.
the hospital environment is not an easy environment.
Hmm.
It's good money. It looks good on the record, on your paper, but that's about it. So I
Right.
ended up working for the city part-time, which I felt really good with because Ruben Diaz was involved with that because at that
Mm.
time I was communicating with him more. And then I started working for
Okay.
MSG. MSG is the best place to work in New York City. Like, what? Why
Hmm.
not? And
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But even after COVID, I realized that time has passed. So it's time for me to move on to other things. So I might be taking
Gotcha.
another leap of faith in a couple of weeks.
Oh boy, and we're gonna be here for it. We're gonna be like, oh
Thank
man,
you.
Bessie, this is what she was talking about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, a few weeks ago, this is what she was saying. Yeah,
Absolutely.
no.
Absolutely.
And like, of course, all of us on here, and I'm pretty sure your followers, we're all like, waiting for your next step and wishing you
Thank
all the best.
you.
So
Thank
I know
you.
I
I love
am.
my IG family.
Yeah,
I love you
no, totally.
guys.
Are you just as big on like Twitter and Facebook, or is like IG like your primary platform?
Everything started 5 years ago on Facebook. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. That's how I got an audience. That's how I became me. And then
Mhm.
I opened myself to IG and I saw the response I was getting. I was getting in touch with superstars and legends and just networking with professionals. And it was like, oh my God, this is my place. And 4 years later, it's still my place. I've had so many connections with people I would never even think of just because of Instagram. My
Right.
Twitter account doesn't pick up. My YouTube is taking time. My
Mm,
Facebook, nobody really responds on that unless I throw up a picture. But like
yeah.
nobody really interacts on Facebook with me anymore. So I just kind of like branch everything into all the social medias. But yeah,
Yeah.
Instagram is my thing. I'm trying to get into the clubhouse and try to network with that. I do the stupid TikTok, stupid stuff just to open me there. But IG is my home. That's
Yeah,
my
right.
go-to every single day.
I mean, it's so easy, right? Like you just open up the app, and if you want to do a quick rant, you just go
I
live, and there
love
you go.
IG.
Yeah.
I just love IG. I'm personal with my people. My numbers are growing.
Mm,
They're growing slow, but let me tell you, they're all organic. I know a lot of them.
yeah.
A lot of them are personal with me, and
Hmm.
I just love my IG.
No, it's true. No, it's very true. It's very true. So we have people that are saying you're resilient, you got this. You're professional, you're driven, you're unpredictable, which is a good thing. You're inspiring, so you're getting like tons of love over here, which is amazing. So we
Oh,
do have a
thank you.
question. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, so I hope I don't mispronounce this, but I think it's Mazionet 519. They are asking, how has COVID affected your path slash journey? Good question.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
question. Wink, wink,
Hmm.
because I know who she is. um, COVID slowed us down.
Hmm.
COVID slowed us down. In the beginning, I kind of kept going with the IG lives. I have to be honest with you. I get very turned off by
Uh-oh.
all the people on Instagram doing interviews. And I understand that it's a
Hmm.
thing now because we're home and this is the way we communicate. But it's something like when you do something for so long naturally and now everybody's doing it, it's like now I have to figure out how to stand out because
Right.
everybody's doing an IG live. So what
Hmm.
makes, and if you know me, you know that this is my thing. So it's not like I'm jumping on the bandwagon either. But
Right.
that's just me being selfish in my mind. You start thinking about stuff. So the fire kind of died down because we were in studio and we were doing stuff on the phone. I couldn't connect with my guests. I couldn't hug. I couldn't smell the guests. I couldn't look in
Yeah.
the eye of the guests.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And
Definitely.
there's certain guests that you really want to meet and be in
Yeah.
their energy.
No, of course. No, of course, of course.
And there's people that I've interviewed through this time that I'm just like, I would never get in the station. So this is a blessing because they're in California or Texas or wherever the case may be. So I'm connecting with those people, which is a great thing. But then I did lose the fire a little bit, but the fire
Hmm.
went into me. The fire went into me getting therapy to heal from past
Hmm.
situations that I put on the back burner because the essence was so hard at the Essence show.
Right.
I was turning a new age that I had to adjust to.
Hmm.
The fitness journey completely took over and I was obsessed with it. So
Hmm.
I was taking care of me finally and I felt
Right.
guilt. I felt guilt and void every single day about the show, every single day. And I
Hmm.
said, you know what? It's okay. The show's not going nowhere. I'm the show. And with all these new experiences and journeys I've been on, I can now contribute this to a new season and have
Hmm.
new conversations.
Right.
So
Right.
it's had its moments, but I got my fire back. I'm reaching out to people that I would have never met, and it's going
Right.
great. The production is up again, so we're doing things professionally. Visually it looks amazing, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
No, but we're ready with you. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready with you. Definitely ready with you. I moved away from New York City a few years ago, and
Hmm.
then I moved actually to Chicago, right? And then I was just desperate to get out of there. Anybody that knew me over there was like, "Oh my gosh, you need to go back to New York." And I got the opportunity, and I took that as a compliment, okay? So I was like, "Yes, get me out of here." Not to discourage anybody from visiting. Chicago is a beautiful city. I would never take that away from anybody, from the city. But it just wasn't for me, right? Or my
Right.
family, like me and my family. And then I eventually became, an opportunity came for me to return to the East Coast, but it was New
Hmm.
Jersey.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad. So when I ask you, where do you see yourself just being in New York, right? That's like where that question was coming from. Because now I'm in a place where I would love to go somewhere else, right? But, I have my film festival here. I have, like my company now here. And in many ways, I respect the fact of you saying like, yeah, we can Zoom people, I do IG lives with people, but at the end of the day, it's all about, you wanting to hug the person, you wanting to feed off of the
Absolutely.
energy. So,
Yes.
do you see yourself in a mansion in like South Beach, doing
No,
the
I
dancing show,
don't.
like all the
I
cameras
don't.
and all of that coming over to you?
No, I am so like humble. Like I just want a nice condo or a duplex with a
Ah,
pool.
of course.
I don't need a
Go
house. House
swimming,
is
go
too much
swimming.
maintenance. Yes, give me nice land. Give me a nice, beautiful state to live in with gorgeous weather. I love heat. I love sun. Like it's therapeutic for me. Like sometimes I'm walking and I'll just stand in the street and just face the sun. You guys probably see me in my videos and pictures just taking the sun because it's
Right,
God's heat. It's God's light. It's
right.
good for vitamin D. It's
Yeah.
therapeutic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I do want to live in another state that is beautiful, but I am not a high maintenance chick. I would love a beautiful home. I have a beautiful home now. I would love a better beautiful home.
Yeah.
Beach right next to me if possible. Nice pool. But yeah, I'm a condo like duplex chick. Like
Would you settle for like a lake?
I'll settle for a lake.
Yeah, lakes are
Even some
good.
type of marina. I love water.
Oh,
I love water. I
yeah,
love to be next to water. I don't need to necessarily be in it, but I love
yeah.
water. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man. Vacations, because of the essence is all her fault. Now we all gotta go to the beach.
Oh, I can't
Especially after
wait.
the pandemic, yeah.
Tell me
So
about it.
so right now you said that you're not in New York, right? You mentioned that
No.
earlier. Is it something that you can discuss with us of what you're doing where you
Sure.
are now? Yeah.
Sure. So, on some last minute-ish, me and my
Uh-oh.
best friend who's on a journey together, I call her my roadie. A lot of my followers know who she is. And if you know
Mm-hmm.
me personally, you know that she's my ride or die.
Right.
She's my soulmate. You can have soulmates in friends, family, relationships, okay? And it could be
Yes.
across the world. It doesn't have to be romantically involved. So check around who you round, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We decided to pick up and just go to Connecticut for 2 days just to chill out, get away from the environment, just
Mm-hmm.
to release, enjoy each other as well. And we did it, and that's why we're here. So we're both doing working right now, which is fine. We're gonna head down to Mystic Pizza because I heard one of my friends told me she will not be my friend anymore if I don't go there. So we're gonna do that, and then tomorrow we're gonna take a nice hike, work out, go to the pool, do stuff like that, just to like release and get away from New York. I'm so tired of New York. I'm so tired of the people. I'm so tired of that energy and the attitudes. I'm just over it.
New York gotta get in line.
Definitely. Hmm.
No, this is great. This is great. Sometimes you just do need that break from the city. I totally agree with you. I took my break. It was like
Absolutely.
about 2 years long, and then I said, no, 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 I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And I made my way back to New York City from New Jersey. So, because I thought New Jersey was gonna
Whoop,
be
whoop.
enough, but it wasn't. And
Okay.
but
You'll
I
find you'll
made
find it. You'll
I
find
mean,
it in due time.
I'm all the way now. I'm all the way in New York City. I'm back. I'm back home. So it's it's different now because I'm a mom now. have a family. So I view New York City differently now.
Okay.
But
And you've also had
definitely,
the time away as well.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So I'm like, it was like a reset, and I was like, okay, this is where I want to be. But I totally understand when you need that break, and Connecticut is right there.
Right there. It's not so
It's
bad.
right
It's an hour
there.
and a half
Yeah,
away, but you feel
yeah,
like you're away. You really feel like you're away. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
definitely. No,
I
of
love
course.
hotels. So the
Oh
minute I
yeah,
see the
hotels are
bed and the
dope.
pillows, I feel like I'm away already.
Don't
Yeah.
they have like the best pillows and bed though? Like,
Girl,
I was like, where do you get your mattress? Like, I need this in my house.
where do you get the comforters?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, they're so fluffy. Like, come on, share your secrets. What's going on here? Yeah,
Ain't
definitely,
nothing,
definitely.
ain't nothing as good as your bed. I'll tell you that.
No,
Ain't
it's
nothing like home
true.
bed.
That is true. But I would like to have their bed sometimes. Like, bring it over.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is a queen.
Absolutely.
Mine's too. Come on, yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely,
Absolutely.
guys. I am chatting here with the one and only Dessence,
Hi, babies.
entrepreneur, one of a kind radio TV host. She's gonna be taking over the world already.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, like go ahead, put them in the comments or put them in the question box, and just just be part of the chat. This is fun. This is great. Like I love it. This
Exactly.
is this is like see that
Yeah.
we have one heart. Yay, one heart.
Yay!
No, these hearts are everything. Look at that. Oh, now we have 1 million. Ah, beautiful.
I love
I
it.
love it. I totally love it. Totally love it. But yeah, this has been great. And like I mentioned, like I love the fact that you said yes, to little old me.
Thank you.
And I think that that's what's really beautiful about you, that you're approachable, that you're open, and that you give people a chance basically. And that's the good part about people like yourself, that in my eyes you're famous, right? But you're still like
I'm still working.
approachable. You're
I ain't
working at
getting
it,
paid
but
yet. When I get paid, then you can say famous. When you see me on your TV every day, then you can say famous. And I don't even want to be famous. I just want to
no.
be known. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. I want to be
Mhm.
blessed. I'm blessed. I just want to be happy. And
Mhm.
I want to be the voice for you guys. I grew up with
Mhm.
a voice, and we should all have a voice and that's part of being a personality. I've met a lot of personalities in my time that are just plain nasty that you don't even want to work with. And you're like,
Mm.
do you know that this world is so small, especially this industry? Like, I can take this and ruin your whole career. I'm not going to do
Right.
that. But like, let's
Right.
be nice to each other because we all going to meet at one point. We're all going to meet. We're all in different levels of the career
Mhm.
or the type of media that we're in, not A-list, but you have different levels and it all comes
Yeah.
together at the end of the day.
Right.
I'm gonna you may not know me right now, but I'm gonna meet you on top because I'm gonna get
Mhm.
there and I'm gonna meet you and you might have to come into my office for something one day. You never
Mhm.
know. You don't
You
burn
never know.
bridges. And there's
Right.
people that I don't want to mess with, but the essence takes over and it's professionally done and I part my ways, but the bridges never burns.
Right. Of
Bridges never
course.
burns. Yeah.
No, it's true. You never.
And you
That's
have
something
to be
that.
humble. You have to be
Right.
humble.
Of course. Of course. This
And
is
and I
something
and
that.
I I
Go
want
ahead. Go
you
ahead.
I want you to understand that what you do is pretty amazing too because you are doing film festival for the Bronx.
Oh.
Do you know that we don't have anything like that? And you're opening a platform for individuals that are in the hood, that are in the community, that are serving the community to come forth and present their projects that will
Yeah.
can make it big. I mean, so you're doing a thing too. Please don't downgrade what you do. I need you and you need me. All right?
Now that I'm on the other side, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You know, Speaking about the Mahaven Film Festival, I'm not using it as a plug, but
Go ahead, girl.
when I first thought of the idea, my sister, she just joined us, so hit her up, Priscilla Alvarez Films. She was the inspiration behind it, right? So we're literally flying to LA to go see her film being screened. And in the middle of the flight, like we were talking, and I just like dead stopped what we were talking about. Don't even ask me what we were talking because I don't know. I don't remember. But I remember asking her, like, wait, is there a film festival in the Bronx? And she goes, I don't know. And I'm like, well, if you don't know, I don't know, right?
Great.
And that was it. Like as soon as we landed, I'm like Googling like Bronx Film Festivals. Like I'm already like, oh, how come there isn't one?
Yeah,
And then next thing you know, it's like bam, here we are. So it's been a journey, right? And it was
it
not
is.
something that I'm not a filmmaker. Like I didn't
Mhm.
say I'm a filmmaker and I need to create my own film festival. It was, I went to school for PR, for communications,
It's perfect. It all comes
like,
together.
yeah. And
Hmm.
then event planning has always been a passion of mine. So I've been able to put like all of these things together. So
Hmm.
here we go. Definitely,
It's weird that you say that because actually if I wasn't doing this, I would want to
mhm,
get into event planning and I still
mhm,
plan to put that somewhere in my career. And I
mhm.
also wanted to be a therapist.
Oh yeah.
So when I speak to you guys, it's really genuine just talk and I really do want
Mm,
to like improve each other because we all going through something. We're all going through the same thing kind of too. And sometimes you really need to just hear someone speak out to be like, yeah, I need to get in line. I need to check myself. I need
right.
to move around, you know? So yeah, I'm glad that you said that. But yeah, we need you. I'm thinking that Nine Bridge is a new network that I'm getting on too. They're going to want to talk to you because maybe you can bring some of your footage onto the network and present the Bronx in a lovely way.
Of
So we can
course.
talk behind the scenes of
Yeah,
that. I
let's
can hook
do
you
it.
up and all that,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,